Hello, this is Brent, your movie theater explorer. Welcome back to Movie Theater Explorer podcast, and today I will review some of the movies that I had recently seen, a few of them in theaters and quite a few of them at home. So I'm just going to break them up. First, I'm going to start off with the movies that I saw in theaters, and then I'll talk about the movies that I watched in my home theater. Some of them I might brush through relatively quick. Um, a few of them I might go into maybe just a couple more details. But anyway, let's without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first one I'm going to want to talk about is Labyrinth. Um, so a couple weeks ago, they had showings for the 40th anniversary. So the interesting part is when this movie originally came out, it didn't do too well in theaters. Um, I was I was like born not too long ago before that came out. But anyway, so I never saw it in theaters until I think about 8 years ago. I got to see it in a when they did like a special screening. I don't remember exactly the reason why, but regardless, it was still cool. And then yeah, they played it again for the 40th anniversary, and so I went to go see it. And I grew up watching this a lot. I watched um, me and a couple of my siblings would watch this on video. We would rent it from our local video store, and then eventually it came out on video again, and we bought it. And then I started collecting. This was actually one of my initial DVDs. Anyway, so I've grown up watching this a lot, and it's I mean experiencing it in theaters 8 years ago was incredible. It was awesome, and then just experiencing it once again in theaters was great, um, and just having that immersion, but also just hearing some of the laughter and some of the interactions at various moments was kind of cool. So just everyone just appreciating some of the just a lot of the stuff going on, and that was just cool. So yeah, that was my experience at Labyrinth. I got to see it in a Cinemark theater, so and that was cool. Yeah, if they ever play it again later this year, if you're a big fan like I am, do look for a theater that might be playing it and go see it. It's worth the big theatrical experience. Uh, the next one I want to discuss is Eternity. Came out back in November. I did not see it when it came out, but it's always been on the back of my mind. I did want to see this, and I always had an interest in seeing this one, and so I finally got to see it. And yeah, I was definitely, I definitely, I thought it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Performances were great from Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen, and I forget the other guy that was basically. So basically, what happens is um, Elizabeth Olsen dies, her character dies, and she ends up basically first meeting her first husband who died like a year or two within their marriage, and then she ended up getting married to another guy, and these two basically lived off the rest of their lives, which is a long time. So yeah, I don't want to go too much more beyond that, but it's basically her needing to choose who she wants to spend eternity with. And I thought it had a good concept. It had a lot of intriguing ideas. Like the set design was really cool, like just how this whole world is portrayed and everything. And yeah, the character portrayals were really good. And yeah, so yeah, overall, I thought it was a very good movie. And one I'm very glad I got to finally catch. Um, it was playing in a Cinemark theater, and I don't know if it's still playing, but if you do have an interest in seeing it, um, I do highly recommend checking it out. It is worth checking out if you have an interest in seeing it. So there's that. The next one I want to discuss is Mercy, actually. So I got to see this couple like earlier this week, and So this was part of the secret movies. Like if you probably see these like a lot of the Monday nights. I won't say every Monday night. It may not be every Monday night, but it's a lot of Monday nights. They'll choose a movie. I think one of the studios will choose one of their movies to put as their secret movie for these theaters to play, and so this one ended up being Mercy. For me, it wasn't too much a surprise because I bought a ticket for an IMAX 3D showing, so I knew which one I was getting, or I knew which format I was getting, and that kind of limited it. So I was pretty certain that it was Mercy, and yep, that's actually what it ended up being. And so um, I actually really liked it quite a bit, honestly. So the premise is Chris Pratt is basically a detective. He has basically been accused of murdering his wife, and he is brought forth before this AI judge to be judged, and he's got like 90 minutes to basically prove his innocence. And there's a lot of twists and turns. It's very tight, very fast paced. So I when I walked out of the theater, my way of describing it was I feel like it's a mix between Minority Report and Searching, basically, or kind of like movies like Searching and Missing. I don't know if you saw those ones, but those have very intriguing concepts of how this story is portrayed. This one's a little more expansive than just looking at a monitor because there's a bit. I mean, it is basically contained, and it is looking through some screens, and but it's not like how how Missing or Searching is. Which, if you haven't seen those, I do highly recommend checking those ones out. They have very, especially Searching. Searching was really good. Um, but yeah, Minority. The reason I say Minority Report is obviously the movie Minority Report is about the detective that is accused of going to be committing a murder in the future. So that's the reason why I go for that. And you'll probably, if you see the movie, you probably might think some similarities. Anyway, yeah, Chris Pratt did a good job. Rebecca Ferguson, I thought she did a really good job as the AI. Um, and then I actually did like the format of choice. I would say try to see this in the big screen as possible, just because it is pretty immersive. But the IMAX 3D just had that extra depth to it. It was kind of cool. So I did feel immersed when certain things were presented and all. It was kind of cool. So anyway, but yeah, I if you like the idea of mixing in Minority Report and Searching, I highly recommend checking this movie out. And yeah, if this concept seemed interesting to you, I do think it's worth checking out. So, yeah, that's for Mercy. Um, just going to brush through this one quickly. Um, I went to go see Avatar Fire and Ash again. I saw it a month ago, so I pretty much shared my thoughts. Still really enjoyed it. Still like a very immersive experience. Saw it again in IMAX 3D, so it's still playing in or it was still playing in IMAX theaters in 3D, and I was just like, I got to at least see it one more time. It obviously seen a lot of other stuff. I didn't get to go other times, so this time I was just like, yeah, I want to go. So it was really cool to experience once again this way. Um, to me, these are the type of movies that are more worth seeing in theaters. I mean, they're still cool. Like, I think if you have a good setup, they're still cool to watch at home. But honestly, going for the theater for this particular type of movie is honestly more worth it. So, anyway, um, those are my thoughts as far as the movies that I saw in theaters the last couple of weeks. And then I've also watched quite a few movies at home. I'm going to brush through a lot of these pretty quick. Just to let you know, there's probably a good few of these that I've posted on my Facebook page, and also one of them I have done as a review on my channel here. So anyway, first one, The Great Escape. This is the one in 1963 with Steve McQueen, and so this is about takes place in World War II about a group of soldiers that are trying to escape, and yeah, I think I'll leave it at that just because, like, honestly, I wasn't really sure what to go. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. There was definitely quite a few things that happened that I was not expecting, honestly. Um, but it was a great movie. That obviously, all the twists and turns. Obviously, going in something that you're not expecting is always great. And and yeah, obviously the performances were great, and how the film was portrayed, as far as like the camera shots that were chosen, and bringing us in certain situations was really cool. Um, so this one was I watched this in my dedicated home theater. I have a copy of it on 4K Ultra HD from the label Arrow Video, um, and it was like the picture and sound, like the picture quality looked great, and then the sound quality was really good as well. Um, so yeah, it was a really good home theater experience. The next one, Diamonds Are Forever. Um, as I probably have stated, I've been going through a lot of the James Bond movies, and I've watched all of them, or the James Bond movies in the Sean Connery era. I picked up this set on 4K Ultra HD during the middle of 2025, which was last year, and I've been going through all of them, and obviously I just needed to finish off. So I watched Diamonds Are Forever, and I watched this in my modest home theater. That's where where I watched all the other ones as well, and it was definitely very good. And you know, I would say not as good as a lot of his earlier ones, um, but there was definitely, like, one of the cool things about it was just on a technical level. It was cool to see some of the progression taking place. Again, be I mean on a technical level. So obviously, I feel like a lot of the earlier ones were a lot better. If I were to just rank them right now, from bottom to top, I would put um, You Only Live Twice, Diamonds Are Forever. Um, Man, this is where it gets a little bit hard. Um, Probably Thunderball. Again, that one kind of fluctuates a bit for me because I really did like Thunderball. And then I would say From Russia with Love, Dr. No, and then Goldfinger. That's how I rank it right now. And yeah, that's just me right now. This is just for the Sean Connery era. I'm not including any other James Bond movies. I do plan to check out more of them. I've seen quite a few of them the last little while. Obviously, I've watched all the David Craig ones, or the the Daniel Craig ones, and then I've watched all the Pierce Brosnan ones. Oh, and yeah, then I've watched the Timothy Dalton ones as well. And since there's only one George Lazenby one, I've watched that one as well. So I just have the Roger Moore ones to watch. And oh yeah, and I guess I do need to watch Never Say Never again. I guess I don't have to; it's not official, but I kind of do want to check it out just to say I've watched all of the Sean Connery James Bond movies. But I've seen his first six. Anyway, that's for that. The Searchers is the next one. I picked this one up on 4K Ultra HD. Um, and again, I have not really watched any John Wayne's movies, so I wanted to check this one out. And and I mean, yeah, he does a good job, and I thought the movie was really good overall. Honestly, I didn't. This is one again. I didn't know anything going in. I just decided to pick it up and check it out. I knew, um, yeah, but I just had an interest in checking it out, and plus I heard some stuff about the 4K Ultra HD, and I wanted to pick it up and just check that out that way. And so yeah, this was released by the Warner Archive in The picture is outstanding. The 4K picture is outstanding, is how I would put it. The colors, the details are incredible. This was shot, I believe, in VistaVision. So, in the quality for many of the shots were incredible. It was well presented. Just seeing it on I watched this in my dedicated home theater, and the quality just looked incredible. I was definitely just like blown away by just how the colors looked, how it naturally felt, and just there's just all the details, just how well presented it was on on the projector screen that I watched it on. And then the sound was actually quite good as well. Like again, this isn't like knock your doors down, Dolby Atmos or anything like that. This is a DTS HD 2.0, I believe. So it's basically, I think, practically mono, maybe stereo. I don't know. Anyway, but the sound sounded really good, and yeah, it was definitely well rendered for the quality of the time period and everything. So yeah, for mainly for the picture alone, this was a great home theater experience. Um, the next one, I did a video on this, so I'm going to brush through it really quickly, or I put a video on my channel here, and I'm going to try to do a few more of these in the future when I do watch more of them. But um, Dante's Peak, again, the movie's very enjoyable if you like disaster movies. The disaster movies from the '90s are definitely fun to watch, and this was one that was entertaining to watch, and the picture and sound quality were good. Picture looked good in 4K, and then the sound was in Dolby Atmos, and it sounded good. Like there are certain parts where it sounded a little bit lower than I wish it would, um, but it was still really cool to experience this way. So again, I watched in my dedicated home theater. The next one, Space Cowboys. Um, I watched this on a DVD. I was borrowing it, so I wanted to check it out. I've never really seen it before. I've seen clips of it on TV, and that's about it. And so I finally watched it, and um, I really liked the movie, honestly. So this is, I believe, it's directed by Clint Eastwood, and it's got Clint Eastwood, Tommy Lee Jones, Donald Sutherland, and James Garner as the main cast of characters that are going up to space to help fix it from crashing down on Earth, a satellite from crashing down on Earth. And so it was just really fun. There's like a lot of moments I was laughing pretty good. Um, and yeah, the cast did a great job in their roles. Plenty of moments of laughter, and then moments where it got pretty serious and like, oh wow. And as far as the home theater presentation on this DVD, I watched this one in my modest home theater. So again, it's a 55-inch TV screen. It is a 7.1 surround sound, not I should say 5.2.1. So five speakers surrounding, and then two up-firing speakers and a subwoofer. That's what my modest home theater contains. And again, it's a 55-inch TV screen. So picture quality wise, it was fine. Sound wise, I was actually pretty impressed by how it sounded. Again, this it is Dolby Digital 5.1, so and it seemed like it had a pretty good kick to it. Like even some of like the first sequence in the first 5 to 10 minutes was definitely, it sounded really cool in many areas when they were flying these aircrafts, and then later on when they go to space, it sounded quite good. So yeah, I was definitely impressed. It was an impressive home theater experience for this DVD. It is one of those, if they put out on 4K Ultra HD, I do looked at wanting to try to get it. So anyway, um, Next one, the Captain Blood. Um, Picked this one up recently on from the Criterion Collection when it came out. Um, I wanted to check out more older movies, and this one kind of caught my interest, so I decided to check it out, and it actually had a really good story. Um, so I don't want to say too much of what the story is about, but you can. But it's I just because I actually went in, I didn't really know anything was going to go, how the whole story is evolving, and I have no clue what would be considered a spoiler, what would not be. So regardless, it's not like not like this has most groundbreaking story or anything like that. It's just one of those like, I think the synopsis basically, yeah, don't even know what I can say, but um, it's directed by the same guy that directed uh, Casablanca. So he directed quite a few movies in the golden age of cinema, and so I did want to check this out of mere curiosity, and yeah, Errol Flynn. I don't think I've watched any of his movies. This is the first one I've watched, and yeah, there's definitely some really good sword fights. There's definitely a lot of the cool stuff was just watching a lot of like the production design, like just all the details that went in to portray this area, this time period that they were in, and and again, and then the performance is really good. And um, as far as the home theater experience is concerned, again 4K Ultra HD. I watched my dedicated home theater, and the picture quality looked really good. Overall, I would say, but keep in mind um, it is basically a 90-year-old movie, and you could tell like there were certain areas where it got more grainy. In certain areas, I think it was just very hard for them to get it the best they to get it to be incredibly great or anything like that. But for its time period, it looked really good. It felt like I was watching a film, even in areas that might have been a little bit weaker, or maybe not. I maybe the better word is not as strong. Um, I was definitely It was definitely well represented. Again, and then the sound sounded good. It was in mono, so but it sounded really good. I could hear the dialogue well and everything, and yeah, it helped. It just all sounded good. Um, so yeah, it's one of those. If you are interested in checking out more classic cinema like this, I do recommend seeking it out and checking it out. Um, just to let you know, Criterion Collection has sales at various points throughout the year, and I'm pretty sure you can find this during a sale if you want to wait. But yeah, it was a good one to watch. And then the last one I watched was The Bridge on the River Kwai. And again, this is one I picked up on 4K, um, and I wanted to check it out because I'm trying to catch all these ones that have been deemed as classics, and this one won Best Picture back in the day, and I was kind of it. It seemed interesting enough to me, so I decided to pick it up and check it out. Picked it up on 4K Ultra HD. I watched it in my dedicated home theater, and again, this was a movie I don't even know what I was expecting, honestly, going in, but there was definitely a lot more to it than I expected. Um, Definitely, like the story, like was more intriguing. Definitely quite a bit going on, and just how the story evolves and how it ends also was definitely left a mark. That's for sure. So it definitely made me think on a couple of things as well, and without trying to spoil things, just because I didn't know what to expect going in. Again, this is yeah, it's definitely. I definitely think if you're one that likes to check out um, like old classics from like the 50s and all, I do recommend checking this one out. This one was shot in CinemaScope, And the picture quality on the 4K Ultra HD, the 4K picture looked great. Um, Colors looked really good. Um, Details looked really good as well, and there was definitely grain present, and it just felt like a very filmic presentation as well. Um, I was I was definitely very impressed with the quality, and just seeing the wide screen of it was definitely really the wide picture of it was really cool as well in its full aspect ratio. Um, at least I'm presuming it was presented in its full aspect ratio. But anyway, it was really cool to watch, and the sound was in Dolby Atmos, and I mean, the music sounded good. The parts that really sounded really cool were the ambient sounds, which helped put me into these exotic locations, and just like yeah, like it was just it. The ambient sound sounded really cool. Yeah. So overall, it was a really good movie. And this was a great home theater presentation. So um, so those are the ones that I've watched recently. The last thing I want to do is my question of the day is that I wrote for myself is what kind of popcorn bucket for an older movie would you like to create? Or would like to see get released. Like, um, I think some. So I'll just go through a few that I think would be kind of cool. One of the cool ones would be is for any of the like oh yeah next year is guys just to let you know in 2027 they're re-releasing the original Star Wars movie in theaters and for the 50th anniversary and I believe that yeah the news came out that it's going to be the unaltered version so that's going to be awesome. um like they're restoring it and everything and I'm excited for that. um but yeah, let's go with that actually. Because yeah, one of the thoughts was, it'd be cool is because I've seen them do like the Ecto one for Ghostbusters Afterlife, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Um, and so what would be cool is um, also I think they did a ship, the one ship for Predator Badlands, a popcorn bucket for Cinemark. What would be cool though? So going on that theme, what would be cool is if they made the Millennium Falcon as a popcorn bucket for when they release this movie next year. So I don't know how much longer the popcorn bucket craze will keep going, but that would be a cool one. Um, I'm just going to throw another one out for one that obviously wouldn't happen, but hey, if they re-released it and they decided to make a popcorn bucket just for the heck of it, would be the Last Starfighter. They did the Gunstar. That would be kind of a cool one as well. Um, I should note I did see the Last Starfighter a couple times in theaters in 2024. One of them was early in the year at a local theater, and then back in during the summer of 2024 in August for the 40th anniversary of Cinemark. They played a bunch of movies that week for like $5 each, and one of them was The Last Starfighter, and that was great too. So it was great to experience two times in theaters. Those were really awesome. But yeah, if they brought it back and they decided to make a popcorn bucket for it, that would be kind of a cool one, Gunstar. Um, but yeah, um, I could probably come up with a few other ones. But yeah, let's see. Well, yeah, we'll just stick with those ones for now. And those seem pretty cool. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in again to listening to Movie Theater Explorer here. And yeah, I'll one thing I think I've said before, I'm going to try it again, is like I did with Dante's Peak. I'm going to try to put out a few like reviews on when I watch movies in my dedicated home theater, or even my, or heck, even in my modest home theater. So, um, or in heck, maybe I might do a couple of movies that I see in theaters. If I want to do like an immediate out of theater reaction, I might get on and just record it and post it. Um, and yeah, I'll continue to do these lengthy episodes as well. And hey, if you guys have a question that you would like me to answer, feel free to put it in the comments. And I'll do my best to even answer those questions. Um, anyway, thank you for tuning in. This is Brent with Movie Theater Explorer signing out. Have a good rest of your day.